All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm your host, Gut Pancakes. This is probably going to be my intro for a while. I can't really think of another one. I just finished a show on Netflix, and this is my first show review in a very, very long time. I'm reviewing Reboot, The Guardian Code. And bear with me, this is my first time doing an actual show review in a while, but the show is amazing and I felt like it needed one. It starts off with, it's 20 years later than the original reboot. If you remember the original reboot, Bob saved the internet from megabyte and hexadecimal. He became coding god and saved the internet. 20 years later, here we go. We have 4 humans who get thrown into cyberspace to defend the internet. Of course, me being a big nerd, I love the original reboot series. I thought this one held up just fine. I honestly think if you like this, the old one, you'll like this one. Of course, it's a little... No, actually, there's nothing really wrong about it, for real, to be honest. The writing is good. The pacing's good. The characters are pretty interesting. The villain is pretty good. The villain is now this guy named the Sorcerer. Such a fucking terrible joke. That he... He's in control of Megabyte right now. He's telling Megabyte to go do stuff, bad stuff around the internet. And of course, this starts to affect daily lives. It shows the 2018 side of things. Like they have, instead of Siri, they have Alexa. And in one episode, Megabyte attacks Alexa. And Alexa just starts doing everything that Siri shouldn't do. So I definitely think the writing and the story is good. The ending is a huge cliffhanger. But nonetheless, the show is good, and it should probably get a watch if you're a nerd and you like the old reboot shows. Now, I will say, Bob doesn't look too good. He doesn't look too good in 2018. But, I mean, this is Bob we know and love. He does show up. You do see the other characters from the original as well. I'm not going to tell you when and where, but you do see them. They do show up. Like I said, hexadecimal shows up as well. The new Guardians are these 4 kids. These 4 kids right here. And they're all pretty interesting. You have the leader. He's the red guy. Duh. His dad was, or somehow has a very, very big point in this entire thing. I'm trying to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, but you'll figure it out eventually. Then the rest of the cast, we have the nerd. The nerd's a hacker. He's a hacker. He's pretty sweet. We have the girl who's a vlogger, and she's pretty popular. And we have the blue guy as the sports kid. Sports kid, I'm dealing with grades, I'm doing blah, 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 you know, stuff like that. So, they introduced a new character. Her name is Vera. Vera is the original AI that brought the people into cyberspace in the first place. And she's a pretty interesting character. She develops over time, and there are nothing but spoilers after that. So, I'm not going to say anything else. Definitely gets an 8, if not a 9. The only reason I won't give it a 10, the cliffhanger is really huge. There are a lot of unanswered questions, but as a first season, I think that's fine. Now, I will say I'll be very upset if there's not a second season, but first season having the ending that it had is not too bad. It's a cliffhanger, but it's not anything huge. It shouldn't deter you from watching it. You should definitely still give it a watch. When it comes to the graphics are pretty good. It's pretty much simple CGI. They're on the internet. They become these characters. Some shit. And that's it. You know, it's typical reboot stuff. You should definitely watch it. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with video games. Now, that is the thing. It is more electronic based this time around because we use so much technology as our day-to-day right now. They display that very greatly in the show. And I highly suggest you should watch it. If you watch the original, you should not sleep on this. It is pretty good. It's definitely an 8. Indefinitely. Now, the only reason it's not getting... I'll give it 8.5. 8.5 is really good. It's action-packed. It's really good to watch. I watched the whole thing this morning right before this video. So I'm not prepared. So, give it a watch. If you guys want more reviews, I'll try to give them more structure. I did this one on the fly. I just finished this. So you guys are getting it fresh on my mind. The show is great. The characters are great. The music is okay. It doesn't really broadcast too much music. So if you're looking for like, oh man, you know, they got new track. No, there are no new tracks. They play some generic background fighting music. They don't play anything exceptionally good. Graphics wise, of course, it's live action, and then the people jump into cyberspace. The cyberspace graphics are great. The writing and pacing of the story is really good. You don't have any questions unanswered until the last 2 episodes, and that's when they start bringing you the cliffhanger stuff. So you have plenty of opportunity to enjoy the show as much as I did. I'm Good Pancakes, and I will see you later.